my dear students, how are you? Today we are going to carry on discussing the Tempest, okay? Prepare your book and your pen and let's start. Let me remind you of the last thing that happened in the last scene, okay? When Prospero talked to Miranda and he tried to remind her of their past. But Miranda told him that she could remember nothing but except that she had 4 or 5 maids who served her. So Prospero told her that she had more servants, okay? And in this first line, he is going to tell her.
You did and more. How is it that this still lives in your mind? Do you remember how you came here?
So here Prospero tries to remind her of their past, but she said, "No, sir, I remember nothing more."
12 years ago, Miranda, continued Prospero, I was the Duke of Milan, and you were a princess, and my only child. I had a younger brother whose name was Antonio, to whom I trusted everything. And as I was fond of a quiet and deep study, I usually left the management of my state affairs to your uncle, my false brother. For so he proved I uninterested in all the worldly aims buried among my books, gave my whole time to the improvement of my mind, since my brother Antonio was in possession of my power. He began to think he was the Duke. The opportunity I gave him of making himself popular among my subjects led him to the proud desire to rob me of my position. This he soon did with the help of the King of Naples, a powerful prince who was my enemy.
Okay, here in this part, you guys, Prospero told his daughter Miranda that when they came to this island, she was about 3 years old. Okay, and now, after 12 years ago, she became 15. Okay, so here we have the first question. How old was Miranda when she and Prospero arrived on the island? And how old was she at the time of the play? So when they arrived on the island, she was 3 years old. And when they came, and at the time of the play, she was 15 years old. Okay, now let's explain this comment. Here, Prospero wanted to tell Miranda about their past. He told her that 12 years ago I was Duke of Milan. Okay, as I told you, Milan is in Italy. Okay, and you were a princess and my only child. So Miranda was his only child. I had a younger brother whose name was Antonio, to whom I trusted everything. And as I was fond of quiet and deep study, I usually left the management of my state affairs to your uncle. So here, Prospero had a brother called Antonio, okay? Prospero trusted everything to Antonio. So he trusted Antonio and gave him his dukedom, okay, to rule. So we have a question here. Who was Antonio and how did he take Prospero's dukedom for himself? Okay, so Antonio was Prospero's brother, okay? Now, let's know how he took Prospero's dukedom for himself. Okay, then Prospero said, to whom I trusted everything, and as I was fond of quiet, deep study of magic. Okay, I usually I usually left the management of my state affairs to your uncle. Who was her uncle? Antonio. Okay, my false brother, for he, for so he proved. I, uninterested in all worldly aims, buried among my books, gave my whole time to the improvement of my mind. So here, Prospero spent most of his time studying magic, okay, and left everything for his brother Antonio. Since my brother Antonio was in possession of my power, he began to think that he was the duke. So here, Antonio believed himself, and he tried to take the dukedom from Prospero. The opportunity I gave him of making himself popular among my subjects. Subjects here, underline the word subjects. Subjects here means my people. Shabi, okay? Led him to the proud desire. Desire means that he wanted to rob me of my position. Okay? So this this he soon did with the help of King of Naples. So King of Naples helped Antonio to take the dukedom for himself. Okay? A powerful prince who was my enemy. So here Antonio cooperated with King of Naples in order to take the dukedom from Prospero to himself. Okay, so this is the answer of question number 2. Now, Miranda said, why did they not destroy us then? Here Miranda tries tried to ask Prospero, why didn't Antonio kill them? Okay, so here we have another question. Okay, before this question we have, what was Prospero's big mistake? Who can tell me? Yes, exactly. His big mistake that he trusted everything to his brother. Excellent. Now, what was the result of Prospero's mistake? Exactly. Antonio took everything for himself. Okay? So, here we have another question. Why didn't Antonio kill Prospero and his daughter? That's what we will see in the next comment. Okay?
My child, answered her father, they dared not, so dear was the love that my people felt for me. Antonio carried us on board a ship, and when we were alone miles out at sea, he forced us into a small boat without either sails or ropes. There he left us as he thought to die, but a kind lord of my court, a man called Gonzalo, who loved me, had secretly placed in the boat water, food, clothing, and some books, which I value above my title.
Okay, so here Prospero tried to tell Miranda that Antonio uh, didn't have the power to kill them. Why? Because the people loved them, so he didn't kill them. Okay? But here we have another question. What did Antonio do to get rid of his brother? What did he do? Yes. Here, Prospero said that Antonio carried us. Underline this. This is the answer of question number 5. Antonio carried, instead of us, Prospero and his daughter. You are going to write here Prospero and his daughter. Antonio carried Prospero and his daughter on board a ship. And when they were some miles out at sea, he forced them into a small boat without either sails or ropes. Why? In order to let them die. Okay? There he left them as he thought to die. But a kind lord of his court, a man called Gonzalo. يبقى who was Gonzalo? Gonzalo was a kind lord, a loyal lord, okay, who loved Prospero, had secretly placed in the boat water, food, clothing, and some books which Prospero valued above his title. طب, what were these books related to? Exactly, they were related to magic. Exactly, bravo. So Miranda here said, oh, my father, what a trouble I must have been to you then. Here Miranda felt that she was a trouble, or she caused trouble for her father because she was still young. But Prospero said,
No, my love, said the Prospero. You were the beautiful little creature whose smiles made me bear my misfortunes bravely. Our food lasted until we landed on this desert island, and since then, my chief pleasure has been in teaching you, Miranda, and from these lessons you have learned well.
okay, so here we have a question, okay? Who saved Prospero's life and how? يبقى who saved Prospero's life? A man called Gonzalo. How? Underline with me. He had secretly placed into the boat water, food, clothing, and some books which Prospero valued above his title. This is the answer of question number 6. Okay, so here we have another question. How was Miranda a great help to her father? Yes, exactly. Underline with me. Here, she was the beautiful little creature whose smile made Prospero bear his misfortune bravely. Misfortune means bad luck. Okay? So this is the answer of question number 7. Now let's move to page 4. Okay? Miranda said to her father, Heaven, thank you, my dear father. Now tell me, sir, your reason for ordering this storm. So here Miranda wants to know the reason why Prospero raised the storm or the tempest. And Prospero will say,
I will, said her father, by means of this storm, my enemies, the king of Naples and my cruel brother, are being driven on to this island.
so here Prospero told her that he did so or he raised the storm. Why? Yes, in order to bring his enemies to the island. Who were his enemies? Yes, the king of Naples and his brother Antonio. So here we have a question. Why did Prospero raise the storm? Yes, underline with me. Okay, by means of this storm, his enemies, the king of Naples and his cruel brother, were being driven onto that island. This is the answer of question number 8. Okay? Having said this, this means that after Prospero has said this, Prospero gently touched his daughter with his magic stick, and she fell fast asleep. For the spiritual just then appeared before his master to give an account of the tempest. Account means report, okay? To give a report of the tempest and of what he had done with the ship's company. Underline the word company. Company here means the people on the ship, okay? Loa, Antonio, Gonzalo, King of Naples, Ferdinand, okay, and so on, okay? Though the spirits could never seen by Miranda, Prospero did not wish her to hear him speaking to the empty air, as it would seem to her, okay? So here we have a question. Why do you think Prospero made his daughter fall asleep? Who can tell me? Yes, exactly. Prospero did underline the answer. Prospero did not wish her to hear him speaking to the empty air. Okay, as it would seem to her. Because as I told you before, Elle was a spirit. Okay? And spirits were not seen for anyone except for me, Prospero, because he had the art of magic. Okay? So here Prospero is talking to Ariel.
Well, my brave spirit, to Errol, how have you performed your work?
Here Ariel gave a description of the storm and of the fears of the sailors and how the king's son Ferdinand was the first who jumped into the sea. يبقى who was the first one who jumped into the sea? Ferdinand. Can you remember who was Ferdinand? Yes, he was the son of King of Naples. Excellent, bravo عليكم. Was the first who jumped into the sea, and his father thought he saw his dear son swallowed by the waves and lost. So here, King of Naples thought that his son died, okay? Or he was swallowed by the waves and lost. Okay, so here Ariel said, but he is safe in a corner of the island, sitting with his arms folded, crying for the loss of the king, his father, whom he believes has been drowned. Not a hair of his head has been hurt, and his princely clothes, though wet from the waves of the sea, look fresher than before. So here El said that
That's my delicate earl, said Prospero. Bring him here. My daughter must see this young prince. Where is the king and my brother?
Okay, here Prospero asked Earl to bring the prince, who was Ferdinand, to the island. Why? Because he wanted his daughter to see this boy. Why? Why do you think? I'll tell you next time, inshallah. So, here we have a question. What report did Earl give his master Prospero? Underline with me, okay? Earl gave a description of the storm and of the fears of the sailors, and how the king's son Ferdinand was the first son jumped into the sea. And his father thought he saw his dear son swallowed by the waves and lost. So this is the answer of question number 10. Here, Ariel will answer or will reply, I left to them, searching for Ferdinand, whom they have little hope of finding. So when Prospero asked about his brother Antonio and his enemy, King of Naples, Ariel told him that he left them searching for Ferdinand, whom they have little hope of finding. So they had the hope that they could find Ferdinand, okay? Of sailors, not one is missing, though each one thinks himself the only one saved. And the ship, though out of sight, is safe in the port. So here, you guys, Ariel told Prospero that everyone on the ship thought that he was the only survivor, okay? But they were all safe, okay? So Prospero said,
Prospero said to Ariel, you have done your work well, but there is more to do.
okay, so we are going to stop here. Prospero said to Ariel that you have done your work well, but there is more to do. Top. What are the jobs that Prospero would ask Earl to do? What we will know next time, inshallah. Here we have some comments. The first comment by means of this storm, my enemies, the king of Naples and my cruel brother, are being driven onto this island. Who said these words? Yes, exactly. Prospero said these words to Miranda. That's right. When he told her about the reason why he raised the storm. Okay? So here we have another comment. What a trouble I must have been to you then. Who said these words? Yes, exactly. Miranda said these words to her father Prospero when he told her about their past and how they came onto this island. Okay, guys, now let's take these questions. Your home assignment. I'm gonna see it inshallah in your copybook next time. Okay? Number one, how old was Miranda when she and Prospero arrived on the island? And how was she at the time of the play? Yes, bravo, Aliko. Excellent. She was 3 years old when they arrived on the island, and she became 15 at the time of the play. Number two, who was Antonio? And how did he take Prosperous dukedom from himself? Yes. Aha, I can hear someone saying Antonio was Prosperous' brother. Excellent. And Prospero trusted everything to him. And he trusted him to rule his dukedom. So Antonio took everything to himself. Okay? Number three, what was Prospero's big mistake? Aha, yes, exactly. His big mistake that he trusted everything to his false brother. Yes. What was the result of Prospero's mistake? Exactly. He took everything for himself and got rid of Prospero and his daughter. Okay, now number four, why didn't Antonio kill Prospero and his daughter? Exactly, because all people loved them. Number five, what did Antonio do to get rid of his brother? Uh-huh. He forced them. Yes, as I told you in the text, he forced them on board ship, and then he put them in a small pot without either ropes or sails in order to die. Number 6, who saved Prospero's life and how? Yes, exactly. A lord, a loyal lord was called Gonzalo, and he put some food, drink, clothing, and some books related to magic, okay, for Prospero. Secretly, of course. Number 7, how was Miranda a great help to her father? Bravo! Yes, her smiles made Prospero fear his misfortune or bad luck, okay? Number 8, why did Prospero raise the storm? Aha, bravo! Yes, in order to bring his brother and his old enemy onto the island. Yes. Number 9, why do you think Prospero made his daughter fall asleep? Aha, yes, because he didn't want her to see her father talking to empty air. Yes, because Ariel was unseen or invisible. Number 10, what report did Ariel give his master Prospero? Yes, as I told you, he told him that Ferdinand was the first one who jumped into the sea, and everyone on the ship thought that he was the only survivor, but they were all saved. Okay, number 11, by means of this storm, my enemies, the king of Naples and my cruel brother, are being driven onto this island. Yes, I told you before that Prospero said these words to Miranda, and you're going to explain here the situation, okay? Number 12, what trouble I must have been to you then? Aha, Miranda said these words to her father Prospero. Yes, and here you are going to explain the situation. Okay, now see you inshallah next time with a new scene of the Tempest with my best wishes. Bye bye.